the first weather briefing for Tropical Storm Laura and Tropical Storm Marco. I advise that you read the description or the little notice that I have at the bottom of the screen before you proceed. So anyways, let's get into this. Here's the current situation. So we have two systems that we're covering, Tropical Storm Laura and Tropical Storm Marco. Marco's current position is 22.3 degrees north and 86.1 degrees west, whereas Laura is slightly lower and closer to the equator at 18.3 degrees north and 68.8 degrees west. Marco is moving west with 50 mile an hour wind gusts, whereas Laura is moving north-northwest with 65 mile an hour wind gusts. Marco's speed is around 13 miles per hour, whereas Laura is moving slightly faster with a bit of wind shear coefficients at 18 miles per hour. Pressure trends, or I guess just the general pressure for right now as of the latest advisory. Marco is sitting at about 994 millibars, whereas Laura is slightly weaker as of right now as the latest advisory at 1,004 millibars. Water temperatures as of right now isn't looking too out of the ordinary. You can see the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean and, surrounding Cuba, the Bahamas, Puerto Rico, that entire area has, temperature readings of about 85 to 90 degrees. As of right now, favorable conditions for tropical storm development and hurricane development. So nothing too much out of the ordinary. They will be playing a role in the strength, intensity, and weakening of these two systems as they do get closer to one another. So let's just see how they look. You can see Marco's on the left, Laura is on the right. Marco doesn't have too much cumulonimbus development, except on that northeastern flank. As you can see, you got some cumulonimbus just sparking up there. To the southeast and to the west of Marco's center of pressure, you don't really see too much. Right around that center of pressure, Marco, you do see a slight cumulonimbus development, but again, Marco is looking a bit disorganized as of right now, whereas Laura has a lot of spontaneous cumulonimbus development around the entire center of pressure. There's just a lot of those features there that are giving off telltale signs. You got, swirling sears to the northeast, and, it's over the, looks to be just to the west of Puerto Rico and right over the Dominican Republic as of right now. The center of pressure is actually just to the south of the Dominican Republic. So, like I said, a lot of cumulonimbus development. Looking at some infrared imagery, you can see Marco on the left, Laura on the right as well. The cloud tops are actually looking a bit higher on Laura than they are at Marco. Like I said, I got a little Sears band, little light rain band on that western flank of Marco. Laura is just looking pretty messy. However, those storms are looking pretty intense, especially with those higher cloud tops at about 65,000 feet. Maybe even pushing 70,000 in some areas, but it's definitely looking a bit more intense with Laura, but not to be fooled, the winds are a bit weaker and the structure when it comes to Laura. So I guess the conclusion that we can draw from this is that Laura is a bit disorganized right now, weak on most flanks, but expected to change as it nears Marco or gets closer to Marco in a matter of days. Marco is looking a bit stronger and slightly more organized, especially with the wind speeds and wind coefficients at the mid to upper levels, but not for long, and I'll explain why. So forecast projections and conclusion, let's go through that. You can see Marco on the left, Laura on the right. Marco is currently located just to the west of the main Cuban island. It's just in the southern portion of the Gulf of Mexico, right off the Yucatan Peninsula. That's the center of pressure right there. It is expected to become a hurricane over the next 12 to 24 hours. So it is very likely that when I put this up or when you're seeing this, that it is at least a Category 1 hurricane from when you are seeing this. But for right now, when I'm making the video, it's a tropical storm. So, like I said, Marco's expected to move to the northwest going through Monday, and is expected to start turning as it nears the Mississippi, Louisiana Gulf Coast. Going through 1 to 2 p.m. is when we're expecting Marco to make landfall as a very weak Category 1, possibly even just a high-end tropical storm due to a lot of conditions, due to wind shear and a lot of things. Whereas we look to the right, you can see Laura is way further out, just to the west of what looks to be the Dominican Republic and Haiti. That center of pressure, like I said, it's moving west and is expected to start moving to the northwest over the next few days, over the next 2 to 3 days. It's going to stay on that trend. It's not even going to become a hurricane until at least Tuesday afternoon from when we're recording this right now. So like I said, then it's going to start curving to the north, and that's where the path of uncertainty is coming in terms of like the speed and what Marco is going to be doing and stuff. There's a lot of conflicting statements right now as to whether these systems are going to merge due to the Fujiwara effect, or whether they're just going to stay separate systems, or one's going to die, or one's going to just strengthen off the other one, if you know what I mean. So yeah, as you can see, this is proof. You got some conflicting statements here. This is from the Weather Channel about 11 hours ago, and as you can see, it takes what looks to be Marco into Texas instead of Louisiana. So again, the models are a bit all over the place, but from what I'm seeing, it's going to definitely be making landfall in Louisiana somewhere. Louisiana right along that coast. Mississippi, it's going to be just to the west of it if you're looking at Marco, whereas with Laura, again, that's still a bit uncertain since it's so far out, but projections right now are saying that it's going to be impacting around that same area. This is due to the upper level high that is located just to the east of Bermuda, which is driving all these systems to basically collide with one another or come close to colliding. So as you can see with the strength models, if we look at Marco, it's going to become a Category 1 in the next 12 to 24 hours, but not for long, since it doesn't have a lot of time to strengthen, since it is already located in the Gulf, and it is going to be moving north-northwest over the next few days, going into Monday when it is expected to make that landfall as a weak Category 1. It really is not going to have that much time to strengthen. Once it hits the coast, it is just downhill from there when it comes to the strength of Marco. Whereas we look with Laura, we do have a bit of conflicting statements. We have 2 models out of possibly what looks to be about 10 or 12 models here that are putting it at a major hurricane. So I doubt that it will reach a major hurricane status due to most of these models right now and their behavior. The highest it will get is a high-end Category 1 and low-end Category 2. That is what I'm seeing as of right now with most of these models. So that's going into, like I said, if you go back to the trajectory earlier in the presentation, you can see that's where it's going to be at. Like I said, if you look at the bottom, little axis where it says forecast hour, this is around 84 to 96 hours from now. So that's about 3.5 to 4 days from now when it's going to reach its maximum intensity, therefore decreasing as it gets closer to the Gulf Coast. So like I said, the Gulf Coast is definitely at risk here for both systems. If we get a summary, we can see the chance that storms may not merge into one complete blob is definitely there. I don't think this will become one massive congealed system. One is going to either just feed off or just, die off the other, if you know what I mean. So, one's either going to live or it's going to die. It's basically battling it out. Marco is expected to arrive first since it's closer to the Gulf Coast, since it's, located already in the Gulf of Mexico, and Laura is actually located way to the east of the Gulf of Mexico, back towards the Dominican Republic. The location of landfall of Marco is stretching from Mississippi to the coastline of Louisiana. That's where I'm putting it, since there is a bit of uncertainty with a lot of the models right now, but that is what I'm saying. I'm pretty confident about it. Hurricane Marco, within the next 12 to 24 hours, Hurricane Laura is going to take about 2 to 3 days to develop as it, goes over some of those land masses of Cuba, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, since it's already very close to those. So that will take about 2 to 3 days to develop. The strength of Marco at landfall is low-end Category 1. Definitely low-end Category 1, if not a high-end tropical storm. Okay, guys, so that is pretty much the forecast for both of these systems. However, I do have one more thing to say, so don't click off. I am incredibly sorry for not uploading for a literal month. There's been a lot happening in my life. It's mostly good, but like I said, I have college coming up. I have a lot of things. I have Columbia that I'm planning to launch in the next few days, which keeps getting postponed due to technical snags, but I'm going to try to work through it. If you don't know about that project, I will link it, an introduction video down in the description down below. It's a little rocket project that's related to weather and weather research, so I highly encourage you to check that out. Without further ado, again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay safe. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content just like this. I have this all over my channel, including education videos about weather and the whole 9 yards about rockets, everything. So if you're interested in that, please do subscribe. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.